Have you ever corrected a student, and instead of looking serious, they smile, smirk, or even giggle? As teachers, our first thought is often, is this child being disrespectful? Or perhaps, are they being defiant? But what if there's something deeper behind that reaction? Before we ask why the child laughed, let's ask ourselves another important question. Why did I stop the lesson to correct this child? Was the child disrupting the lesson? Were they repeatedly interrupting? Were they arguing with another student? Were they targeting or blaming a classmate? Was the whole class becoming distracted? Or was it a serious or unsafe situation? These are all valid reasons to intervene because our responsibility is to protect the learning environment. But here's another question we rarely ask ourselves. Was the child's behavior truly disrupting learning, or was I already feeling frustrated, tired, or overwhelmed? Maybe I'd repeated the same instruction several times. Maybe the classroom was already noisy. Sometimes our own emotions influence the way we respond. That one moment of self-reflection can completely change the outcome. Now let's think about the child. What exactly are we correcting? Is someone being hurt? Is learning being disrupted? Is this a one-time incident, or is it a repeated pattern? Not every behavior deserves the same response. Our correction should always match the seriousness of the behavior. Now, put yourself in the child's shoes. Imagine your principal or manager points out your mistakes in front of all your colleagues. How would you feel? Embarrassed? Nervous? Uncomfortable? Children experience those same emotions. When we correct them in front of the whole class or in front of their friends, the smile we see isn't always disrespect. Sometimes it's embarrassment. Sometimes it's nervousness. Sometimes they're trying to avoid accountability. Sometimes they're trying to look strong in front of their friends. And yes, sometimes it is defiance. That's why we shouldn't judge the behavior before trying to understand it. Now, understanding doesn't mean ignoring. We still need to correct inappropriate behavior. But we don't have to turn correction into a power struggle. Instead of asking, "Why are you laughing?" or "What's so funny?" keep your response calm and brief. Simply say, "I need you to stop this behavior. We'll talk after class." Or, "This behavior isn't acceptable. We'll discuss it privately." Then continue teaching. Because the longer we argue in front of the class, the bigger the audience becomes. And once there's an audience, the child may stop responding to the teacher and start performing for their friends. Don't give the behavior a stage. When correcting a student, correct the behavior, not the child. Instead of saying, "You're rude," say, "The way you spoke to your classmate wasn't respectful." Instead of saying, "You're always creating problems," say, "You interrupted your classmate several times today. I need you to allow others to finish speaking." Be clear. Tell the child exactly what they did and what you expect instead. Whenever possible, choose a private conversation. Ask, "What happened? Do you understand why I stopped you? What could you do differently next time?" Those 3 questions encourage reflection instead of resistance. I also want you to remember the importance of the 5 C's in this process. Before correcting a student, take a moment to ask yourself 5 simple questions. Clarify, what is really happening? Is it just the behavior, or is there something more? Care, what might this child be feeling? Could there be an emotion or struggle I can't see? Consider, where and how should I correct them? Will this protect their dignity? Choose, what is my goal? Am I trying to win an argument, or help the child grow? Create, what response will encourage learning and positive change? Remember, students may forget what we said, but they'll always remember how we made them feel. Pause. Before correcting a child, ask yourself, why am I correcting this? Does it need to happen in front of everyone? Does it need to happen right now? What's the best strategy? And finally, if I were this child, how would I want someone to correct me? That one small pause can completely change the outcome. The next time a student smiles or giggles while you're correcting them, don't immediately assume they're disrespecting you. Address the behavior. Stay calm. Set clear boundaries. Protect the child's dignity whenever possible. Because behind every behavior, there is usually a reason. Our goal as educators isn't to win an argument with a child. Our goal is to teach children how to make better choices while preserving their dignity and helping them grow into responsible individuals.